Okay, I'm showing that we are live. Hi, I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. Now, this is pretty cool because this is where we talk all things plumbing. Literally, if you're interested in getting into the trades, you're interested in getting better at the trades, you're interested in opening your own company, or maybe you're interested in using social media to grow your residential service company, this is the spot you need to be. Virgil, will you take that middle camera and raise it just a little bit? It's like cutting me right out, cutting the top of my head off. Just a whoa, a little bit. Yeah, I think you're good. Perfect. Maybe a little bit more. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to fix everything. Good, right around in there. It keeps dropping back down. So I'm going to come over to this camera and let them fix that. But we also have a surprise. We have a third camera in here tonight. So we're doing things just a little bit different. We're constantly looking at how can we get better. And that's what kind of leads to where we're at. But we're in here talking plumbing tonight. And the cool thing about it is there are people that get in here that are new to the trades, people that are wanting to get into the trades, people that are already in the trades but want to become the best tradesperson they can become. And we've got people that literally want to start their own company. Now, I've been through all this, so I understand the things that need to be done and how to do it. The other group that we get in here are trades company owners that want to grow their business using social media. So what we like to do is just get in here and ask questions. We've got a link, and I say that. I don't know if it's been pinned to the top yet. It looks like it has. We've got a link to the forum. Tell me what y'all think about the third camera. I'm going to jump into the comments real quick and say hello to some people while I get them to turn the air conditioner on and turn it down because it's hot in here. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. Tell Grayson or Julie or Amber, anybody too. This project is retired. Welcome to the show. Michael Franco, Spicy Edwin, Captain Antilles. Man, we got a lot of people in here today. You just got notified. I love it. 30 minutes ago and you're in early. I love it. Justin Killer. How we do, Justino. Yeah. Justin Joe Killer. See, man, I need my glasses. Modernized Purple Pen. We have my boss, Miss Julie Wakefield, in the house. Phasing Cajun, what's up? How is everybody doing? Michaela Mills, good to see you in here. And I see we have people from YouTube. I thought I saw somebody from Facebook in here a while ago. So we got all kinds of people in the house. Kind of nice. Nice Demon Queen started off with a super sticker. Thank you so much. Good to have you in here. Now we still need to adjust that down. Virgil, if I stand up, it's literally cutting me off right about here. So bump it up just a little bit, but let's don't get up into the upper light if you don't mind. So, what do y'all think about these cameras? We have literally we've got a wide screen over here. That way people can see more of the studio. I mean, literally everything from the open tank all the way over to the tankless water heater looks pretty cool. And then we've got camera number 3, which also gives you a completely different view. And I got to tell you, and you can see it pretty good in this video right here. I love this tankless water heater. This is from Bradford White. It's their tankless water heater. Love this thing. You see how much room there is in there to work on it? To me, that is really, really cool. But anyway, we're going to play with cameras. We're going to get things going and stuff like that. But the neat thing I want to tell you about is, look, if you want to ask questions, go to the top, put it in the form. It'll take you a link over to a Google document where you can ask questions, fill things out, get it all set, and it will make everything wonderful. So anyway, nice dim queen. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And I'm going to jump back in here. Blake Drury in the house. Good to have you in here. Forcing Chronos. How is everybody doing? Mondo Leva. And then there is a link to the chat. Man, we got all kinds of people. Virgil Hatfield in the house and in the studio. Saltine Cracker. The ultimate goal is to become a lead AP with a plumbing license. And man, that's what I am. I know that's kind of funny, but about 10 years ago, I was working for one of the largest mechanical contractors in Dallas. Decided that, I was working as the quality control manager on a lot of projects. And what they had me doing, oh yeah. Thank you, Grayson. I appreciate that. Virgil, thanks both of y'all for your help. What they had me doing was working on lead projects, and I was the guy over QC. So I had to deal with all the documentation. I had to deal with so many different things. But the cool thing about it was I went to the vice president of the company, told him I wanted to become a lead AP, and he told me no. I said, dude, what do you mean no? I'm on the job. I'm dealing with all the paperwork. I'm doing all this. And he literally told me, he says, Roger, look, I've got engineers that can't pass this exam. It's hard. And I said, well, let me try. And he said, Roger, you don't understand. It's an exam for architects and engineers, designed by architects and engineers. It's almost impossible. And me, I'm just one of these people. I'm like, man, look, I'll do it. I said, I'll tell you what, if I don't pass it, I'll pay to take it again. So he said, you know what, if you really want to do it, go ahead. I tried. And I set everything up. I got the study book in. I started reading it. And I got to tell you, I think I was reading Russian. So Saltine Cracker, understand, it's a tough exam. But what I did is I ended up rescheduling my exam because I knew I wasn't ready. And I took off on a Memorial Day weekend one year. I took off Friday. So after work Thursday, I studied Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, took the test on Tuesday and passed. And it really was a big deal. Alejandro Colon, how we doing? Man, welcome from Dallas, Texas. And Julie, I like the third camera too. Says my brother-in-law said he failed at soldering. He used oxygen acetylene. He got it too hot, and that can happen. So be very careful. Hello from crappy California. Come on. New York City in the house. We've got so many people. I'll tell you what, everybody put in, do me a favor, put in the comments right now where you're at, meaning where do you live? Are you in the trades? Are you in the trades? Do you want to get into the trades? Are you a journeyman? Are you an apprentice? Are you a master? Do you own your own company? What do you do? Do me a favor and leave me a comment. Sorry, guys. I've been needing cold water today. Hello from Richie Reuter. How we doing? All the way from El Paso. Master number there. Love to see that. Good to see you in the house. Terrence Lewis says, my main coming into the house looks like it's going to fail anytime. Should I attempt to fix it or not risk breaking the cast iron pipe? Here's the thing. If it only looks like it in one place, Terrence, you can probably dig it into a spot repair. If it looks like the whole line is rotted out, I would literally start looking at what do we do to get in here and do a relay. That's the way I look at it. And I know I'm going to mess this name up, but I'm going to try. Cardin Tingelius. I hope I got that right. RP. Hello from Hungary. Hello to you. We have Sid Avery in the house. good to see you. Northern California, just interested in the trade. And you know what? We have a lot of people that get in here that, and I hate to say this, we get a lot of handymen that get in, watch our videos, learn how to do things. Nothing wrong with that. I really think that it really does do good for people to learn this because, man, just like this right here, California senior in high school, future plumber, Abraham, man, congratulations to you. I've got people that send me messages all the time saying, look, my school shows your videos every night and they're going to school to learn things. So it's crazy. YouTube hates free speech. Hello from North Korea. Hello to you. Hello from Richardson, Texas. Yeah, Julie put the link in there to the free mini course. Those of y'all that hadn't seen this, and I can put it up again here later. I'm just still wanting to run through and say hello to people, see where they're at. Wendy Skinner says, how do I get started? Started with getting my plumbing license. This is a great place to start where Julie put the link in for. Razzie Sky, good to see you. Evan White says, hello, everyone. And hello there, Roger. How are things? You know what, Matthew? Things are going great. So, yeah, take the free mini course first. Guys, anybody who's interested in getting into the trade, I know we had somebody a while ago say they're in high school. The mini course that's up there, and I say it's up there, it's down in the description. You got to figure out, how do you want to get in? And I ask people this all the time because, and when I say ask people, I ask tradespeople. And if there's any tradesperson in here right now that's already in the trades, already a licensed plumber, whatever it is, electrician, HVAC tech, did you know what part of the trades you wanted to get in when you got in? And what I mean by that, and I talk about it in my free mini course, is when I got into the trades, I knew I was getting into plumbing. I knew I was going to become a plumber, but I did not know the difference in residential and commercial. I mean, I knew the difference, but I didn't know that there's residential plumbers or commercial plumbers. There's service plumbers or new construction plumbers. There's union plumbers or open shop plumbers. And it's neat because it's a little bit all the way around, all kinds of different things. So I'm going to go over here. Man, I got a banner missing too. Man, my Ferguson banner is not up. Do you see it back there behind you? Just because, man, I normally got it up. Now I'm looking, I'm like, man, there's a void on the wall. So it's going to take me just a second to get it up here. I got to get my studio right. There we go. See, I kept looking behind me. I'm like, man, something looks wrong. So yeah, we can see it there and we can see it there and looky there. So Wendy, here's the thing. And this is why Julie's asking, or Julie put this in here. If you don't know what kind of plumbing you want to get into, and not just plumbing, but really any trade, if you don't know whether you want to do commercial or residential, if you don't know if you want to do service or new construction, you don't even know if you want to be union or non-union, it can really get you started off the wrong way and it makes it hard. Mr. Ravinas, hello from Denmark. Good to see you in here. Love your Marcel. Good to have you in here from England. We get all kinds of cool people in here. Why do plumbing and electric companies need journeymen but are not willing to train entry-level people? This is a really good question because Lord Goober 94, here's what I'll tell you. I love bringing in green people. We've got 3 apprentices right now that the longest experience any one of them had was about 6 months. The thing that I'll tell you about it is, and you're right, a lot of people want experienced apprentices. I would rather get green apprentices in because then I can teach them to do things the way I want it done. Most companies that want people in with experience, they just want to throw you in a truck. They want to get you out where you're making money, you're making profit for them. And look, I completely understand it. I can't complain about it. But to me, I want to get people in and train them our culture, the way we want to do things. And that's why I believe in hiring for culture. And then you can train them the skills. And I think that's the best way to do it. So Julie's put a link. There is the link to the free mini course. I'll leave that up here just a second. I'm going to jump over into the forum. Guys, if you've got any questions, please jump over into the forum, ask questions over there. Really, I try not to answer questions in the chat, but I do so every now and then. Although right here, I see that Terrence gave me a $20 super chat. Thank you very much. And said, thanks. Terrence, thank you. I do appreciate it. I'll scroll down and see if I can find it here. So I'm pinning it on up there. Oh, there we go. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Now I'm going to jump over and answer some questions. Guys, if you have any questions, if you've got questions about getting into the trades, and notice I say trades, what I teach about plumbing literally could teach you how to get a great job as an electrician, if there is such a thing. And I'm joking. I'm a plumber. I give electricians a hard time all the time. But what I'll tell you is that what I talk about plumbing, about getting into the trades, about becoming a better tradesman, about starting your own trades company, about if you own a trades company, how to use social media, anything I talk about can be used in any of the trades. So even if you're wanting to get into electrical work, go watch my free mini course as to how to get started in plumbing. Take out the word plumbing, put in electrician. It's all the same, guys. And what you're going to learn is going to benefit you so much that I'm telling you, I think you're going to like it. So I love having the third camera now. It's a little bit different. I'm going to jump into the forum and ask questions and give y'all some answers. If y'all have got any questions at all, anything that you're wondering about, any of those topics, or you've just got plumbing questions, do me a favor, put them in here. If you put them in the chat, there's a lot of plumbers in the house that will jump in and answer them. I have no problem at all with that because there's normally some really good plumbers in here. But I'm going to jump over into the forum, ask some questions, and we'll go from there. Evan White says, when are you going to grow? When are you going to grow your art out again? Like back in the old, oh, when am I going to grow my hair out again? I'm probably not. Some of y'all know I used to have hair down to my waist. I used to be a bodyguard and a bouncer, and I had hair down to my waist, always wearing a ponytail or a braid. Man, riding on a motorcycle, all kinds of fun things, but I'm probably not going to grow it back out again. Next question is from Lex Katker. Says, are you invested in any property? You know, right now I'm not. We're looking at buying a property right down the street. And the reason that we want to buy this particular property, I'm always looking at training. What can I do training wise? And what we're wanting to do is buy a property. This one is on about a 1 acre lot. It's got about a 5,000 square foot building. It'll let me set up multiple studios, a complete area for my marketing department, a complete area for the office, a complete area for the training for plumbers, and then another area for storage, studios, and stuff like that. So we've got, it's really laid out pretty cool. The cool thing about it though is I've also got room, since it's on a 1 acre lot, to build a swimming pool and a slab with plumbing under it, because I want a place where I can teach people how to fix slab leaks and plumbing leaks on swimming pools. So that's what we're looking at. So we do not have, I don't have any investment in any property right now, but we are looking at one that I can invest in for my business. Craig Close says, hi again, Roger from England. Often when watching American plumbing videos, you guys use a primer and a PVC cement when joining PVC. We only have a cement over here. Just wondering what benefits you get from a primer. What the primer does, and that's a really good question, Craig, because I get asked this question a lot, but what the primer does is it takes off the clear, shiny coating on PVC. It takes that off and gets it down to the direct plastic. Now, it's really neat because at the end of the month, I'm actually headed to, or the end of next month, I'm actually headed over to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to tour the pipe manufacturing facilities, pipe and fitting manufacturing for Charlotte. And man, that is so cool. But that's a good question to ask them, because if you read the manufacturer's directions on the glue and cement, or the cement and primer, it tells you prime first, then apply the cement, and then join it. So I'm really looking forward as to what we're going to get to try to do or what we're going to get to see. But that's the benefit, is it keeps you from having leaks. Next question, Zach Tatumhager says, what is the worst, the worst bodily fluid for a plumber? Man, but all the bodily fluids are bad. If you go to work on a job, poop, piss, whatever it is, man, if it's there, it's just something you got to deal with. So man up, Buttercup. That's what it's all about. Arnie runs Tulsami. Why did you start plumbing? Man, we're going for the good questions tonight. Here's why I started plumbing. I was literally 16 years old, managing a restaurant, in trouble all the time. And a buddy of mine worked with me at this burger joint. It's a fast food place. And literally late one night, him and I are the only ones there. And he looks over at me. He said, look, are you going to do this forever? And I'm like, dude, why not? I am 16 years old. I'm managing a restaurant. Life is good. I got it made. Then he says, so what happens if you get fired or you quit? Who's going to hire a 16-year-old restaurant manager? And I'm literally like, I have no idea. And it wasn't but a few weeks later that I either quit, but probably got fired. And that's 40 years ago, so I really don't remember. But what I'll tell you is I contacted one of his brothers, because later that night, he told me about his 3 older brothers and his dad, who were all 4 plumbers, how they love their jobs. And then one big thing that he said that night, what blew my mind, is robots will never be able to do plumbing. And you know what? For the most part, he's right. They can't get out and install it, do repairs, things like that that we do. Now, robots can weld, robots can do a whole lot of things, and I get it. So I'm just going to tell you, if you looked at it that way back in the 80s, it really was a big deal. So that's how I got into plumbing. David Varner says, electrical engineer here, just looking at what tips for a home buyer to maintain plumbing. Anything you can do to always be taking care of your plumbing is phenomenal. Yeah, Sean Strong says, Julie Wakefield, my ears, nope. Have to go back and listen. Yes, we have been talking about Sean, and it manifested because now he's here. Sean Strong, good to have you in the house, brother. Any of y'all that are in here need to jump over. Let's see if I can do this. I mean, I know I can. Jump over on the subreddit right here and join this. This is where we actually get a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, a lot of content for our YouTube channel. So if y'all have pictures and videos and stuff like that, put it on the subreddit. Sean Strong is very active over there. I mean, always. So it really is pretty cool to see him in here, which he's in here all the time. Not just here. He gets in the LinkedIn Live. I mean, he gets involved in everything we do. So it's so great having him around. Next question. Zach says, man, same question I had a while ago. How'd you get into plumbing? I love that. Zach, both of y'all asked it, one right after the other one. Riley Pike says, I'm getting into welding. Just wanted to ask if you've ever weld or know how to. Here's the deal. And this is another good one because I don't weld. I'm not a welder. I know how. I can plug in a machine. I can turn it on. I can probably run a bead. My question to you, Riley, is, are you getting into welding just like manufacturing, like plate welding, or are you talking pipe welding for plumbing? Because my thought is, in the union, welders make really good money. Welders can also work a lot of time, meaning overtime. There's also always jobs going all across the country that you could get into and really do well. So Riley, if you want to drop a message in the chat, I'm sure I'll see it here in a little bit. Or if you want to come back in the forum and just answer that, that's fine. You know, my thing is, man, know what you're getting into. Commercial, residential, service, new construction, all the above. getting into welding is great. I would ask you where and what's your long-term goals? Yeah, talking bad about your brother. Can I get a $20? No. Casey Morales says, hello from Sure Shot Router and Plumbing in California. What is your most effective form of advertising? How important is a professional website in this day and age? Casey Morales, number one, this is a phenomenal question because websites are why I started doing social media. And what I mean by that is we were hiring website companies, and me and Julie sat down and added up one day. We spent about $47,000 on websites, on pay-per-click, on all kinds of things to make the phone ring. And literally, we hired some sorry people that literally took a lot of money from us and made the phone stop ringing. So, and when I say that, I mean, literally, we were picking up our phone, calling the office number just to see if it would ring. It was that bad. So I started learning social media. So what I'll tell you is, to me, social media is my most effective form of advertising. I can build relationships. I can do a lot of different things. But I will tell you this also. Recently, I've got a new website guy. It's Develomark. I tell people he's up in Connecticut, and he's phenomenal. And if you call up there, ask for Ruan, tell him I told you to call. But Casey, I'm a $1 million, $1.3 million a year plumbing company. My competition does $70 to $80 million a year. And I'm thinking the two biggest plumbing companies that I know. I outrank them on Google. And I do that because I do now have a website guy who's done phenomenal things. It's Develomark. What happens now is I do pay-per-click again, which I said I'd never do again, but I'm doing the Google guaranteed thing. And if you do Google guaranteed, you've got to spend so much money a month because they come in, they vet you, they do a background check. I mean, they do all kinds of things. But a website's critical because most people do go to a website to look at you. They want to see your reviews. They want to see what you talk about. They want to see what you stand for. So Casey, it's huge. And if you'll call and talk to Ruan, just tell him, say, look, Roger told me that you have an introductory website. And I think he does 3 to 5 pages or something for somebody just starting out. But you know what? When I first started out, I would have loved to have had 3 to 5 pages that are just great pages. And that's the kind of stuff he does. Steve Harloa, good to have you in here. I hope everything is going well with you. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 in the house. There you go. The subreddit right there. All right. I am going to jump back over. And of course, it jumped on me. So it'll be fun. I'm going to jump back over into the forum. I was just trying to scroll up into the chat to see where I was. And I'm right there. So I'm good. So next question in the forum. How's everybody doing today? Blake Drury, good to get a question from you. How are you doing? My question is, when I turn my washer on, I get a really bad smell from my sink. When you turn your washer on, I don't know if you mean your washing machine. Here's the thing. A lot of times we just need to go in and flush our pipes. And think about it. We've got different sinks or different areas that maybe we don't use all the time. With everything going on, we've been getting a lot of calls here lately. And if y'all are in plumbing and you're in an area that was hit real hard with snow, that had a lot of water leaks, that had a lot of things like that, do me a favor and go in, leave me a chat and let me know, are you getting a lot of slab leaks or water line leaks here lately? Because Amber literally came in the other day and she said, look, man, slab leaks are blowing up right now. And we think it's because they're chlorinating the water real heavy because they had a lot of breaks and they need to clean it and treat it and make sure it's good. So I really think that it's a possibility it could be leading to problems. But a bad smell is completely different. You may just need to flush your lines out and do different things like that. I think that I'd start there and see if that takes care of the problem. Tyler says, my pipe going into the faucet leaks when faucet is not left dripping. Should I replace the connection to the two? I would say, yeah. Anytime you've got a leak, whether it's caused when something opens, closes, or whatever, you want to fix that leak, because if you don't, you're going to end up with problems from now on. And what happens is that leak will end up damaging other material, other things, a cabinet, a sink, flooring, whatever it is. And man, that is the last thing you want to happen. We've got some good questions in here today. Abraham Gutierrez says, what type of license would you need to be self-employed plumber? Really interested in becoming a residential service plumber. It depends on where you're at, Abraham. If you're here in Texas, you need to get a master plumber's license. Then you need your RMP endorsement, responsible master plumber. The cool thing about it is it's all through the Texas State Board. I took my RMP course through Plumbers Continuing Education Texas, and they actually had a professor from TCU come in and teach economics, and I think that helped a lot. I think it was really good seeing it that way. But you've got to have your master plumber's license. You've got to have the RMP endorsement. Then you've got to have insurance. You've got to have a registered name, a tax ID, a lot of things. That's why we're trying to put all those kind of things together to give to people to help teach them what it is they need to do. Next question. Armando Leva says, what is your thought on reglazing tubs or kitchen sinks? And Armando, I don't know if you've ever done it. I've never done it. If it comes to a reglazing, that's on the customer. I don't recommend it. I don't have anybody that does it. So my thought is always, let the customer find somebody that they like. That way I don't have to deal with it, because the last thing I want to do is I don't want to come in, be the guy that sells them a reglazing, and they have a problem with it and it peels later, anything at all like that. I would literally rather let them pick out whoever they want, let them do it that way, and then I don't have to worry about it. Julie, if you're in here, will you turn the AC down, please? Griffin Heinzman says, is it better to go through a trade school or just go out and get a job with a company? This is good because this literally could be for plumbers, electricians, HVAC, carpenters, people like that. Here's what I want to tell you is, again, go through my mini course. The reason being is if you ever want to open your own company, you probably want to do residential, you probably want to do service in any of those trades, because it's easier to start your own company. You can literally start out with a truck, a van, your own personal tools, build a great relationship with a supply house where you can get materials. You do things like that, it's easier to get started. It would be, look at it this way. I could literally buy all those things and compete with that $80 million company I was just telling you about. Okay. I do compete with them. I'm getting $1.3 million a year of business that they're after. But here's my way of looking at that. The big mechanical contractors that I used to work for that are doing multi-million dollar jobs, I can't compete with that. I cannot come in and do the kind of work to compete with them. I cannot do a $20 million project. I can't do a $5 million project. I probably could, but a good friend of mine taught me a lesson a long time ago. He says, never do a job that's so big that if you lost that money, it could put you out of business. So if you look at a $5 million job, you can say, hey, Roger, look, if you did that, you could make, $1.5 to $2 million profit on that. I understand. But would $1.5 to $2 million profit loss put me out of business? And yeah, it could. Because if I've got to cover the labor, if I've got to cover the materials, if I've got to cover warranty work because I hired some bad plumbers, could that put me out of business? Yes, it could. And to me, it's just not worth it. So go through the free mini course, figure out what kind of job you want to get into, meaning residential or commercial, service or new construction, union or non-union. Once you figure that out, then ask the question. Because if you want to open your own company, I'm going to tell you, you probably want to do residential service and you probably don't want to do the union. Thomas Gave says, I got a question. When running the vents, do you only use 2-inch ABS pipe or only 1.5 inches? It depends on what your drain fixture unit tells you need to do. That's per code. So, and number one, I tell you, never use ABS, use PVC because that's what we use here. But that's just location. Here's what I would tell you: know what the code says. If you can reduce that vent, say I'm installing a lavatory, and code says I can reduce that vent to 1.5 inches, I can run it all the way out the roof 1.5 inches. But if there's a toilet there that I'm running out 2-inch, I can take that 1.5 inches and revent into it and run that 2-inch out. So always look at what can you do, what's going to save you the most in time, money, labor, materials, the whole 9 yards. Because to be honest, all of that need to factor into that question. But man, it's not just 2-inch. You can run 1.5 inches. Sean Charles says, could make a video on the math we need to know for plumbing. Man, you don't want me making a video on math. Look, I'm joking. Actually, I'm pretty good at math, and I do have. I've got some out there. Like I've got the 1.41, the 45-degree offset formula. That's a pretty good one. Let me know if you've seen it. I do need to do a math, and look, I've got books on plumbing math. I used to teach in the union, so I know how to teach it. I know how to talk about it. You know what, Sean? That's a good one. I'll work on that one. We're actually, and I don't know how many of y'all have bought our course and signed up for the basics plumbing, introduction to plumbing. We hadn't been putting up videos in a while because we're having some stuff made, but we are getting ready to upgrade a lot of those videos and do some new ones. So if y'all have bought it, number one, thank you. I really do appreciate it. But understand and thank you for being patient with me because we're working on more videos to get stuff up and going there. Justice Williams says, how do I know if a trade school is accredited? You can probably contact the Department of Labor and you might ask them, hey, are you approved by the DOL, the Department of Labor? If they tell you they are, man, they're normally not going to lie about that. Don't get me wrong. Some people will lie about anything, but I would contact them and ask them, are you approved or accredited by the DOL? Because here in Texas, if you are, that lets you get your master's license 3 years faster. So that would be a big deal for me. Back over in the chat real quick. Michael Masaryk says, but can I still become a plumber if I'm not as handsome? You know what? Anybody's more handsome than me. So trust me, if I can do it, anybody can. Julie, you're right. We always say nice things about Sean. So much. How do you have so much swag? You know, this is a good one because, look, number one, people have been sending me stuff for years. Try this, see if this works. Let me know what you think. All kinds of stuff. Fun. Chapross says, which brand, Roger, which brand do you think is better for use? Viega, Apollo for ProPress? Yeah. Viega, Apollo, Nibco. I mean, man, I'm telling you, guys, nobody's making bad products. They spend a lot of money, do a lot of research, and I say that, and then I got to think about shark bite. Sorry, but my mind just kind of went there. Here's a good one. How's your business changed since you started YouTube in terms of growth? Vlad, I got to tell you, it's been good. We quit sending money for pay-per-click advertising. It is really been good. And man, it's helped me out a lot. So Cole Longley asked a question a while ago, what happened to your description? Then he says it's all messed up. So Grayson, you may need to go check on the description. He's already fixing it. Okay, good. Cole, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Man, yeah, we need to keep our stuff fixed. So I do appreciate all the help from y'all. Back over in the forum. Gabriel Sophie says, hey, Roger, Do you have any experience or know anything about Americans working overseas as a plumber? Like, has any American wanted to live in a different country and use their plumbing trade to do so? Any information appreciated? I would imagine so. And I mean, I don't know anybody specifically, but I know that I've worked with guys from South Africa. I've worked with guys from Russia. I've worked with guys from Mexico. I've worked with guys from Canada. So, I mean, I know that there are people that come to the United States to work. I'm 100% sure there's people in the United States that go other places and work. So I would say absolutely. What I would do is, Gabriel, the same thing that I would tell anybody wanting to come to Texas and work, call the country that you want to work for. If I wanted to go to work in Canada, I would call up to a city or a state and talk to somebody and say, hey, who do I talk to about getting a license in your area? And talk to them, then call them and say, hey, look, I've got 10 years experience or 40 years experience, or hey, I'm just getting started, but I'm wanting to move there. That'll help you out a lot. Great questions. Ryan says, me and my father added a little add-on behind our double wide in the apartment. We hooked the septic plumbing to our already existing line. However, every time we flush the toilet in the main house, it causes the toilet in the apartment to bubble, let air out. What could cause this? The toilet is about the same height, but maybe lower, and it has a vent. I would check the vent and see how well that vent's working. Maybe run something down it. As long as it's vented, the vent helps balance the atmospheric pressure. So when you flush, the water or the air, when you flush uphill, and I mean upstream really, and that water comes down, it pushes air. If it doesn't push it down towards the drain, it should push it towards that toilet, but it should go up the vent and it shouldn't cause your toilet to bubble. Maybe you put too small of a vent or something. And look, I know nothing, but what I'm reading here. So I would look at that and see, is it possibly that a bigger vent may resolve the problem? Anthony Lynch says, why do plumbing and electric companies need journeymen but are not willing to train? Talked about that one a while ago. I love bringing in green people and training them. Luther says, how long have you been in the plumbing business? I started plumbing 40 years ago, actually 41 now. I started plumbing in 1980. I started my own company about 5 years ago, but I literally worked for a lot of different plumbing companies and made them a lot of money. And somewhere along the way, I decided, you know what, I want to start my own company. And I mean, I know why I did it, but it's helped me a lot. And I got to tell you, I love it. David Varner says, top 3 home care preventative tasks. And this could be good. And any of you plumbers that are in here, I want y'all to put in, I know we've got Steve Arlo in here, and I know that we have Sean Strong in here. My top 3 tasks are, number 1, always check your toilets. Is anything running? And it's the blue dye test. Drop a tablet in the tank, see if anything's moving. As a plumber, you can probably go by and look at the water in the bowl, see if you see any movement. If so, you've got a leak and it's costing you water. The second one would be to flush your water heater on a regular basis. If your water heater is relatively new and you flush it, it keeps the calcium and magnesium out. And what that's going to do is going to help your water heater remain more efficient. That's going to save you money, but it's also going to make your water heater last longer. The third thing, know how to turn your water off. Check your toilets, make sure nothing's running. Flush your water heater whenever you can. Every year is what's recommended. And the next one would be know how to turn your water off and cycle your valves every now and then. Maybe go out every 3 months to 6 months, turn it off and on just enough so that when you need to turn it off in case of an emergency, you have the tool, you know where the tool is, and you can get to it quickly. Good stuff, David. I like that. Thank you very much. Jake says, do I need to be school smart to do any trade? I take an automotive class and I really only do good in that, but not really other subjects. Here's what I'll tell you is Jake, look, number one, you don't have to be smart. I think you want to learn to think smart, and that's easy to do. And I have people tell me all the time, look, I could never learn to do plumbing. And I'm like, really? Did you learn to tie your shoes? Because that can be kind of complicated, you know? You've got two strings, you're going to make a loop, you're going to make a loop, you're going to go around, you're going to pull it through, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. At the end of the day, plumbing's the same thing. If you can learn to do something, then you're good. And once you learn it, it's like tying your shoe. You do it over and over again. You do it multiple times. And if you can learn to tie your shoes, to be honest, you can learn to run a sewer machine. You can learn to install a toilet. It's just knowing what to do, when to do, and how to do it. So no, like you said, you do well in your automotive class, man, learning plumbing's about the same. You just learn what to do and then you repeat it and get really good at it. Xavier says, why are plumbers in the UK so expensive? It's like 50 pounds an hour. And when doing a simple job like installing a sink, they mess up the hot and cold pipes. You've probably had Neil, the urban explorer, doing your plumbing. I know he uses shark bites. I'm joking. Look, I love Neil to death. The cool thing is, look, plumbers can charge what they're worth. And I know that's probably a bad way to look at it, but if I'm the best plumber in town, even if I'm not the biggest company, but if I'm the best plumber and we do things right, if I train my men more, if we use better equipment, to me, we bring more value. And the way to be compensated for bringing more value is by charging more and getting it. I don't know why they're so expensive over in the UK. And to be honest, I don't even know what 40 pounds are compared to, or 50 pounds compared to $50. But I'll tell you this, I'm not the cheapest plumbing company in Dallas, and I've never wanted to be the cheapest. I want to be the best. And if we can train our guys to do things right, do it right on a regular basis to where we're consistently doing things right, staying ahead of people, getting things done, to me, it's worth charging more. If I can go out and fix your problem and nobody has to come back for 5 years and I charged you $500, if somebody else does it for 100, but you have to call them every year to keep coming back and fixing it again, they didn't do something right. And at the end of the day, I'd rather be the guy that brings value, charges you more, does things right, and you're never going to have that problem. So I think it just kind of depends on how you look at it. Do you see value in what they're doing for you? And if not, you may have the wrong people. Parker says, what are some of your most disgusting calls you ever got when you did not walk off the site? I mean, we all get bad jobs. I've walked in houses that look like they've never been cleaned ever. Look like they were built dirty, The big thing too is when you go in and unstop toilets, that's always bad. Unstopping, there's a video out there about a clogged shower drain, this guy trying to unclog it himself, and he cannot stop gagging and puking and all that. And it's just really funny. And, look, sometimes it's not the plumbing job that's disgusting. Do we deal with poop? Sometimes. You got to smell it sometimes. When you walk away, you don't smell it no more. So it's not like it's on you forever. That they can be bad, but you know what? It's nothing that is scaring me from doing the job. Dustin Nielsen says, I upgraded my hot water recirculator. My gas bill for my water heater doubled. How's that possible? Well, I don't know if you've got a tankless or a tank top water heater, but if you're trying to, even if you got a tank top, if you don't have a hot water circulator, once it heats the water in that tank, it stops running. If you're keeping it circulating, you're constantly adding lukewarm water back in because that hot water goes out, goes through the entire system, loops back in. Well, by now it's cooled down a little bit, so you're going to make that water heater run a lot more. Don't get me wrong, I love hot water circulation systems. I think they're fantastic, but they come with a cost. Jason says, "What made you want to do plumbing videos?" It's a neat story. I got tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies, so I went to a social media conference. I started learning social media, and I literally thought that I was just going to walk in and learn how to do Facebook. And it's really funny because Facebook is something I didn't learn anything about that entire trip. But what did happen was I walked into a session that literally the guy starts talking about YouTube, and it blew my mind. So I literally decided I can do this. And when I looked at it and watched it and kept messing with it, I thought, you know what, this is something that I can do a lot of. And it was really cool because look, number one, I've been a plumber for years, and I studied plumbing. I've always wanted to be the best plumber ever since and I'm not going to say since I got into the trade, but it wasn't long after I started seeing good plumbers, bad plumbers, and all this. And I finally decided, hey, you know what? I want to learn to be the best plumber I can be. And luckily for me, I started out with some good plumbers, and that helped a lot. But once I learned YouTube, I knew that I wanted to talk about plumbing. And Jason, I don't know if you can tell, I'm passionate about it. I love what I do. I taught plumbing in the union for years. I've been a great instructor to some apprentices that have gone on to own their own business, to become superintendents. Multiple of them become superintendents, to become instructors. So I'm doing something pretty good. So that's kind of why I started making videos. But I really started doing it because I wanted to make my phone ring at my plumbing company. And we've just kind of morphed and changed into other things. Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says, how many shifts have you made in your video recording style? Quite a bit. We started out with me sitting behind a desk in my office. One day after standing up and doing a video, my video coach at the time said, don't ever sit down again. So even here in my office, and if I go to this camera here, you can see I've got a stool right back here behind me. And very seldom do I pull it up here and sit down, because I know that my energy level is so much higher. And when I get here and just start sitting down, I just start kind of chilling. I relax, and I got to tell you, the video content is no good, because I just all of a sudden it's like you just kind of turn it down a level. So that's what made me get started, and those are some of the changes. The cool thing about it is, here's probably what made me make the shifts, and this might help you more than anything. Reading the comments. I always ask people, look, if you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. Go down, right down there, click the thumbs up. If you really like what we're doing, go down below it, subscribe, and ring the bell. That way you don't miss anything. You like the way I pointed right down to it? See, that was pretty cool. So the neat thing about it, though, is when you start realizing what your people like, you want to give them more of it. And that's what changes our style, changes the things that we do, and makes us shift from one to the other. Let me see. Ashley Prue, how are you doing? Good to have you in here. It says, how would I unclog a toilet that has been completely blocked by a bulb syringe? Auger was a massive failure due to the end knotting up and plunger isn't working. Number one, the auger should do it. Believe it or not, you're not the first one to get a bulb syringe stuck in there. You may have to pull the cable, the end out just a little bit, because you want it to literally hook it. You may have to sharpen it so it'll pierce it. But number one, man, don't give up. And if you've got a good heavy closet auger, which I don't have mine in here, not my big one. I've got my little urinal auger over there. But you if you got a good, heavy, rigid auger, man, you can get in there and bounce against it and push it. If you can push it through, once you can get it to drop through the toilet, man, you can get rid of it. And yeah, if you've got a little bitty cheap auger, it will not up. You're probably going to need, it's about $60 for the, what is it? The rigid K6 or something like that. It's the auger that can actually extend where it's 3 feet longer. It's not just your typical 3-foot auger. Ruck Duck says, is there a difference in effectiveness in the two different kinds of toilet weights? No clue what they're actually called. Okay, I don't either. I need a new one, and I don't know whether to get the float, the ball float, or the round shaft. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I tell you what, if you've got a toilet that clogs up a lot, you may want a power flush, which has the tank inside of the tank. You know, the new lift kind of, I'm trying to think of what they're called. It's not a ball cock. It's not the waste and overflow. And I guess in a way it is. If you've got that center plunger, it's fine as long as you know how to change the O-rings on the bottom of it. So if it does start leaking, you can seal it back off. But look, man, they're going to keep changing the way they make the way they make toilets, because they're trying to make them more efficient. So, and I'd say find one that you like, worry about the way it looks and the way it seats and stuff like that. Then you can go from there and worry about how it flushes. I don't think you're going to have any problem with any of them on the flush. Says, hey, Roger, my parents have a plumbing company that I work for. My question is, how do you find good employees? My parents cannot find one in years, and my dad is pretty much a one-man show with me. Thomas, and this is Thomas Cave. Here's what I want to tell you is, you know, it's not easy finding good plumbers. Number one, you've got to build a reputation in your community that plumbers want to work for you. And that's hard to do. Then what you've got to do is, and look, we go through an interview process. I don't know if you've seen me on LinkedIn Live. I know Sean's seen it, but on LinkedIn Live, we talk about, we have an evaluation that people do online. It lets us know where they rank. Then we have another one that we do based on where they scored on that, if we even let them go take it. And that lets us know what their culture's like, what they believe in, things that they want. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, and a lot of it's just talking to plumbers at the supply house, finding out which ones you would want to have. And then you got to look at how much money do they make, and do you really want them? Because it can get expensive hiring good plumbers. Patrick says, how long have you been plumbing? I just subscribed. I've been plumbing for over 40 years, Patrick. And man, believe it or not, I still love it. I'm going to jump back over in the chat. If you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and share with a friend. Man, yeah, and there's another deal down at the bottom, right down there. Make sure I got it right. It's an arrow to share. If you know anybody that is in any of the trades, or you think would be interested in getting in any of the trades, I'll tell you this: if you share it on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, even LinkedIn, tag me. You know, hey, I'm here watching with at Roger Wakefield or whatever, or I'm here watching at Roger Wakefield. Talk about plumbing. You know, if you want to get into the trades, check this out. If you'll tag me, I will make sure that I comment on it, reach out to you, share it, thank you, stuff like that. So if you are in the trades, or if you know people in the trades, or you know people that might want to get in the trades, y'all do that. And I just thought about it because I brought this up and it says share. Jose de Roman says, Roger, you're the man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Do you pay your techs piece rate or set an hourly rate? We have an hourly rate. We're trying to look at something where we can change it and put them on a bonus structure. I wish I could get Sean to come to work with me. That way he could come out here and teach me how to do it really, really well. Daniel Doe, the Nightbot kind of controls itself. Just saying. Sorry, I'm trying to look up in here and what's it say? Is did Sean Strong leave? So man, I get behind in the chat. I'm trying to roll up and look for comments because there's people I may want to block. Yeah, it'll take me too long to do all that. And I probably can't. I'm probably too far down the road. So we pay our guys hourly. And Cole Longley, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't see it. Oh, yes. Yeah. Hey, I see it now. Cole Longley, you're right. There's a lot of stuff that we need to work on. We need to go through and check every link. Grayson and I actually talked about this the other day. Actually, it may have been today. So, yes. And one more right here. Udemoni. Hope I got it closed. Any tips on getting hired as an apprentice? Taking an online course right now, but I want hands-on experience. Also a smaller woman, but I've worked very physical jobs. Here's what I'll tell you, and that's great because I've got videos on my channel, how to become an apprentice, how to get in the trade, stuff like that. I teach how to find the jobs that you want, how to work for the best company you want to work for, how to become the best tradesman. We're putting together, and I don't know if Amber's in here or not, we're putting together a monthly roundtable to where I literally meet with a group, and we're going to do 4 different groups: people that want to get into the trades, or people that want to become the best apprentice, people that want to become the best technician, the tradesman. What can you do to learn and grow? And everything that we teach is to help you learn to make more money. Because if you bring more value to the companies you work for, you're going to make more money. Then the other one that we're going to do is how to open your own business, teach you the things. And this is going to be like a 12-month roundtable. But if there's anybody in here that would be interested in stuff like that, do me a favor and just put a comment down in here and just put roundtable. That way I know. And look, that doesn't mean you're signing up or anything like that. That just lets me know if y'all would be interested in something like that. And I say that because I've had tons of people reach out to me like this. I want to learn to get in the trades. I want to learn how to get in the trades. I want to get the best job in the trades. And so we've been looking at this for a while, and we've got things in place to where I think it's a good time for us to do it. So what we're doing is looking at creating this monthly roundtable. It would only be like one Tuesday a month for an hour or two. And then maybe doing a once a month roundtable with everybody in all 4 groups in one. That way they can all learn from each other. So anyway, if this is something y'all be interested in, just do me a favor. Put roundtable in here. I'll look and see it later. I'm sure I'll see it here in a minute whenever I get down in there. But that'll at least let me know if it's something y'all be interested in. Trolls are bad. Boy, you are so true. Javier says, hey, you said that you had a residential company and you always have a job every day. Man, our phones are blowing up. I own a residential service company in the Dallas area. We do residential service plumbing. And yeah, we've got jobs every day. Right now we keep 3 trucks running. I really need to hire 1 or 2 more plumbers. Our phones are blowing up so bad, we turn down calls every day. Good afternoon, Guitar 1301. How are you? And Hamadi Memni, no, it's not hard to study plumbing. It's like I said a while ago, guys. Look, if you can learn to tie your shoes, you can learn to do anything. Learning plumbing is not hard. It just takes getting in with the right people and learning how to do something. And once you learn how to do it, it is phenomenal. And Travis Parker, I have a video for that. Sir Kevy, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We have fun doing this and talking about it. Oh yeah, Steve doesn't have daylight savings. And he's an hour late. That's funny. Miss Amber Mendoza says, "Hey, Roger, watching you at a late lunch. My mama says hi, and you're the best." Miss Amber, thank you so much. Tell your mother I said hello. 325. Man, I am way behind on comments. Man. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Liz, I'm way behind now. Jose Ramon, thank you for the super chat. Says to a tuition. There you go. I love it. Why is a shower drain minimum 2 inches and tubs 1.5 inches? Man, that's a good question because I guess you can take a shower in a tub. It's 1.5 inch drain. I guess it's because a tub has so much more room, more volume that it could fill up or drain slower and it wouldn't hurt it. Good question. All right, jumping back over in the forum for a little bit. So, guys, if you're in the chat and you've got questions, do me a favor, jump over into the forum, fill them out. It really doesn't take you but just a second. And man, I mean, we've still got quite a bit to go, but we've still got almost an hour and a half to go here. So do me a favor, jump over in the forum, fill your questions out. I will get to every question in the forum. I don't always get to every question in the chat. So that's why we always kind of say, hey, look, you probably want to go into the forum to fill it out because I'm going to guarantee you those are going to get done. Anyway, jumping back over the forum now, that way I don't get too far behind. Karen Jeffrey, how many calls do you get a day? We probably get, and that'd be a good question for Amber if she's still in here. We probably get phone calls. I'm going to say 10 to 20 calls a day. Probably more than that, but that's going to be close. We run 9 to 12 to 15 calls a day. So we're constantly having to turn down calls or turn people away or send them to somebody else. What we're doing on social media and with our Google guaranteed and stuff like that is working. So I'm telling you guys, we are busy. Anybody anywhere wants a plumbing job and are good. Sean Strong, I was talking to you. Steve Arloa, you want to come to Dallas? Man, I bet they couldn't pay you to leave Hawaii. All right, next one, Mr. Harris. My tankless heater keeps filling my faucet screens with sediment. Can the heater be saved or should I just replace it? It's over 10 years old and a brand new identical model is about $250. Man, if you do your own work and you can get a new model for $250, I'd do it. You might try, I don't know if you've got isolation valves where you can just flush it. I don't know. The one thing I like about the Bradford White, you've got an inlet and an outlet on the top. You've got drain valves on the bottom for flushing. I love it. I think that they've set this thing up really cool. So, if your water heater has isolation valves and ports to plug in for a flush, man, I would try to save it unless you just want to install a new one. Michael Franco says, what type of degree do you need to be a plumber? You need to be a master at nothing. To be a plumber, guys, look, it doesn't take a degree. Most places, you go to work for a plumbing company as a helper, an apprentice, something like that, and you just show up and do the work. And hopefully you go to work for a good plumber to where you're learning good things. The neat thing about it is if you realize I'm working for a plumber that's a jackwagon that doesn't know what he's doing, go to work for somebody else. All you got to do is quit, go somewhere else. Now, it's a little bit different if you join the union because the union is more of a education, a long-term investment, stuff like that. But the good thing is if you want to be a commercial plumber, the union's not a bad deal. What you might really think about is, because like I said, you don't need a degree, you might contact PHCC, find out if there's a PHCC in your area and what companies do they have. You could go apply it. It may help put you through their training program. And I'm telling you guys, the education to me is worth it. I think it's phenomenal. Okay. So Shazinko wants to know, when will I show you my mustache grooming routine? Probably won't. It's top secret. I mean, it's classified government information. You know, the funny thing is I used to be a hairstylist, used to be a cosmetologist, things like that. So I'm pretty anal when it comes to taking care of my stash and stuff like that. I cut my own hair. I trim my own mustache. I do everything. Richard says, "Why did you become a plumber?" Talked about that one a while ago. Uh, I was managing a restaurant at 16, and a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, told me about his father and 3 brothers that were all in the trades and doing really well at it. They loved it. And after I quit or got fired, and I probably got fired, I ended up going to work with one of them. Keegan Jobson says, "Roger, love your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Learn so much from them. That's why I do what I do." Bill Dog, good to see you. Roundtable, yes, yes, yes. Good deal. I'll tell you what, we've really, you know, Amberlina, who is in here, has helped me work on it. Julie, my boss, the one that I report to every day, she's helped me work on it. And I think that we've got this where it would be a really, really cool deal. Will there be a recording of the roundtable for people that aren't able to watch live? What we will do is we're creating a group, and yeah, there will be. We will be creating a group, and this is literally me teaching. We've got 4 different groups, and I'll explain it to you. The first one is how to get in the trades and how to be the best apprentice. And notice I said the trades, not just plumbing, because a lot of what I teach will help you get a job with any trades company that you want to. So again, start at my free mini course. Do you want to do the trades, and which one do you want to do? Do you want to do commercial or residential? The things that I'm teaching are going to help with both. It's going to help you answer those questions, and then it's going to help you get a great job. But the first one is, how do I get in the trades and become the best apprentice? The next one, how do I become the best tradesperson? If you're a plumber, pipe fitter, welder, electrician, roofer, HVAC tech, it doesn't matter. The things that I'm teaching there are how to get the right endorsements to help you excel further, how to help you make more money, how to help you learn things, and what thing would be worth learning to bring more value to the companies you work for. Because if you can bring more value to them, you're worth more Benjamins. And it's literally that easy. So that is the second roundtable. The third one is, what if I want to open my own trades company? And it helps teach you. We talk about the things, what all do you need to have in place before you start? We had somebody ask about a website earlier. I definitely talk about websites, talk about networking, talking about using video, using social media, using keywords, SEO, website, stuff like that. And there's just a little bit of all that on the social media, because the 4th course that we do is how to use social media to grow your business, how to use LinkedIn, how to use YouTube, how to use Instagram, how to use Facebook. How can you use these things to help you grow your business? Somebody asked me earlier, says, "Hey, Roger, what is your best form of advertising?" Social media. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's why I do it. Next question in the forum, people. Ricky Covington says, "Were you a stud before you became a plumber?" Man, just life is what it is. Chickenter says, "Gnats coming out of the tub drain. Don't know if this is a question for a plumber or exterminator." Man, believe it or not, you came to the right place. Those are not gnats. Those are called sewer flies. Google it. That means you have a break under your slab, and these sewer flies are getting into your sewer line. I would start off with the sewer water test. I'm telling you, you've got a break. Not much I can do to help you there, unless you're in the Dallas area. But what I'll tell you is, you have a break there and you want to get that fixed, it's only going to get worse. So sorry about that. Uh, all right. So I'm right there. Next one is Sean again. Sean says, can a 16-year-old be an apprentice? If so, is this allowed in your state? I believe in Texas you can get your apprentice registration at 16. And I think that's great because I've actually been talking to or with the chief of staff for Matt Schaefer's office out of Tyler, Texas. They're trying to get it where they can teach plumbing in high school. And I think that it's a great idea. Can you imagine getting out of high school and having a job where you made 50 grand a year? Because a plumber that or a person that goes through high school and can get out and pass the tradesman exam, that's a revenue generating job. That is going to pay very, very well. So, man, yes, I believe you can get your registration at 16. Go to the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, check it out. But man, I think it's a great idea. Let me see here. I'm going to skip over the stupid questions. And I say stupid because they're just directed at me, making fun of me or something. Zachary says, I go to a trade school and I'm taking plumbing. What should I expect to do when I get out of high school? And what tips do you have that would be useful for me to use? Zachary, look, this is great because the first thing that I'm going to tell you is learn everything you can. Whether you're in high school, in trade school, while you're in high school, it doesn't matter if you're in the union or PHCC, learn everything you can. Always try to become the best apprentice you can become. Why? You're going to make more money. And Seth Godin talks about it in his book, The Dip. If y'all haven't read that, you should. Because here's what I want to tell you is when I'm looking to hire somebody, if I go to Amber or Julie and say, hey, send me the resumes for the plumbers, it's not send me the resumes for the plumber you like the least. Send me the resume for the plumber you thought was the best. And that really is a big deal. And think about it that way because you're competing against everybody who applies for that job. So what I'm going to tell you is, and look around the people, you say you're in high school, or you're going to, when you get out of high school, but you're in trade school now, look around you in your classroom because every one of those people are your competition or possibly your future employees or employers. And I talk about that in the outline for the class that we have is every time you're working around other plumbers, you need to compare yourself to them. Are you doing things as good or better than them? Because if you want to be the best, start now. There's no point in waiting. So, Zachary, man, I really hope that it works out well for you. I think it's great. One thing that I would tell you to do is even though you're already in trade school, go ahead and go take my free mini course. The reason being, it may help you find out what kind of job to help you get when you get out, and it might make your future in plumbing look a lot better. Troy Hallman says, I'm repopping a Handy Andy waterline special, copper, PVC, galvanized, and PEX. Today, I enjoy listening to your show while I work. Troy Hallman, thank you very much. I enjoy you being in here. Guys, if y'all have not done it, please right down on the bottom right over here, hit the thumbs up if you like what we're talking about. If not, leave me a comment or send me a message and let me know why. What do we do that you're like, look, I don't like this? But what I will say is hit the thumbs up, but also right down there, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, you should subscribe and ring the bell. That way you get notified every time we put out a new video because we're going to be putting one out in about an hour and a half. And man, all I can tell you is you'll learn so much by getting in here, watching, learning, and observing. It really is good. And I'm looking at my live chat over here. Nathan Memmer says, my mom just got in the union. And good for you. Good for your mom. I think that's fantastic. The cool thing is I know a lot of female plumbers that have actually done really, really good in the trades. So I think that's pretty cool. It's funny. I looked at Nathan Memmer's comment. Now he's got a deal over here. What is on your wall? This is a Bradford White. This is a Bradford White tankless water heater. Then this is a piece of wood with acrylic in it and a UV light or a LED light in it. Of course, I've got my Ferguson logo because they sponsor my channel on Wednesdays. And man, I just got all kinds of cool stuff up on my shelf. All kinds of swag, caps, hats, glasses. I've got a Black Mountain Mechanical cap up here. Valor Plumbing and Black Mountain Mechanical came to town a couple of weeks ago, or last week actually, and helped us get caught up from a bunch of the freeze breaks. It was great having Sean and Joel in town to help us out. Man, wonderful people. I love it. So Nathan, I hope that helps you out. Marcel says, why is my tap water either very hot or very cold? It depends on which faucet you open, the hot or the cold. If there's a hot water circulation system, your comfort valve could be messing things up. I don't know why. If you just open one faucet, it would fluctuate. Normally, if you open the hot, hot comes out. If you open the cold, cold comes out. So, man, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe in the piping, you've probably got a cross connection somewhere. Why does my cold water switch to the hot water switch? Again, same type deal. Something's probably not right. Okay, so Naughty Ferret says, hello, just wanted to ask if compressed aluminum PEX is a thing in the United States. I've mostly seen it here in Europe. Love your videos. Greetings from Poland. Wow. Welcome. We don't have the aluminum PEX over here. I've heard about it. I've had other plumbers from around the world talk about it. We don't have it over here, but definitely interested in learning about it and seeing if it's as good as everybody says. Borna says, have you ever worked with lead pipe? In my city, in the center, there are old buildings which still have these pipes. I've been in buildings that had cast iron pipes but had lead and oakum joints. One of the very first jobs I worked on, I had to learn to pour lead and oakum joints and actually got really good at it. Not just pouring it, but packing them. So very familiar with it. Some of the older houses in Dallas that I've worked on before, we go in and we do find some lead pipe, not much. So it's not anything we have to deal with very often. Cade says, what exactly is a probationary period when you join a company as an apprentice? A probationary period is normally, look, if you come in and you screw things up really bad, they can just let you go. If you come in and you're late every day, they can let you go. They don't have to worry about paying workman's comp. You were on a probationary period and you got cut loose. If you don't show up a lot, think about it. When I hire a plumber, manager, office person, whatever it is, I'm hiring them because I need somebody here full time. That's why I hired them full time. And when you have an employee that doesn't show up on a regular basis, it's not good. It's not good for your business because you depend on them. When you've got employees that don't show up for work or that come in late every day, it's hard to build a schedule around that. I look at this all the time because think about it. I try and do a morning huddle every morning. If I go out there and all my plumbers aren't there, why am I doing a huddle? I'm not able to talk to everybody. I'm not able to help everybody. So, that is what probationary periods are all about. It gives them a way to say, hey, look, if you're not going to be here on time every day, if you're not going to come in every day, we're just going to cut you loose. And trust me, it happens, and they should. Jerry Ruiz says, my bathtub is clogged and my snake drain isn't working. I don't know what type snake drain you have. We use a top sink snake and run it in through the overflow. Jerry, don't know how much more I can help other than tell you that's what we do. I hope it works for you. Right there's where I need a little audio clip to play. Daniel says, hello, Roger. I see other plumbers using a pumping plunger. Not sure if it's worth it. Have you ever used it? There's a link to it here. I'll go check it out later. I don't go check out stuff like that in the middle of the show just because I don't know a lot of things. Emily Dove says, if you had a superhero theme song, what would it be? That's easy for me because there is a song out there and you can search it on YouTube. It's called Man on a Mission by Oh the Larceny. And I gotta tell you, that is my theme song. I love it. And believe it or not, I've actually got a superhero that works for me. And he is the Texas Green Plumbing Man. I had to think about that. He's a superhero, and his superhero power is leak detection. Philip Banks says you recommended that apprentice should buy and start studying the 2018 UPC book. Recently purchased one for $120. Now there's a 2011 version available. So is the 2018 you recommended out of date? Is it still useful? Do I need to purchase this book also? I would not. Philip, here's the deal. That they upgrade that every 3 years. And I think they really do it just so they can sell more books. There's not a lot to change. You can go through them and see what the changes are, but most of the plumbing exams, literally, you can take from books 6 or 9 years ago. The reason is it doesn't change much. Steve Arloa, if you're still in here, Sean Strong, if you're still in here, I mean, what do y'all think? Texas keeps trying to get away from one book to another and stuff like that. I love the UPC study guide. I think it is the best study guide out there. I would not. Somebody asked me that the other day, sent me a message, said, hey, the 2021 book come out. Do I need to get rid of it? Heck no. I've still got my 2018. That's the one I use. I normally upgrade them every 6 to 9 years. I may get one if I need to, just to see if anything drastic has changed. But no, Ricky, I would not, or Philip, I would not change books. And if you've highlighted it, like I said, it's a great study guide. Roman says, how to retire early in the trades. Number one, and this will work for everybody. So I want y'all to think about this. Here's one thing I'd tell y'all. Start learning to budget your money. And I'll give you a quick tip and trick. Learn to live on 60% of your income. Okay, 60%. Then tithe 10%, give it to your church, give it to a charity, give it away, help other people with it. You will be so surprised how that changes your life and how that makes you feel. Take 10% of it. I want to make sure I get my numbers right. Take 20% of it to pay your bills. Pay your bills, pay your education, pay whatever you need to pay. And then take 10% and invest that in you. Live on 60, 10 for the church, 10 or 20% to pay your bills, to pay your debt, to pay things off, to invest once you get everything paid off, and then 10% in your education. Always invest in you and always keep learning. If you'll do that, Roman, here's one thing I'll tell you, and I learned this from Grant Cardone. He says the 3 things I invest in his business, invest in social media, and invest in training himself. And if you'll do things like that, it will really, really help you out a lot. If you'll learn to budget your money, it'll help you get to where you can retire. Brian says, I don't know if you use sewage ejector pumps. We don't. Do you recommend Zoller or Liberty pumps, simplex or duplex? Number one, I've used the Liberty pumps before, and if I'm not mistaken, we popped it in a duplex system. That makes sense to me. Liberty pumps are good pumps. It's a good brand. They've been around for a while. So I don't have any problem with that. Hope that helps you a little bit. Seb says, what's the best brand of tools? I just started an apprentice. I'm 18 from Canada. I'll tell you what, and tools are something I love talking about because literally the neat thing about it is I've grown up on Rigid, Milwaukee, DeWalt. I think those are probably three of the best brands for electrical tools for plumbing. But now you start getting into Nipex and different brands for more advanced tools, more expensive tools. Working with Ferguson, I started using a lot of the man, what's the name? I can see it. Raptor. The Raptor tools. And I got to tell you, it's a good, solid, sturdy brand. So what I would tell you as an apprentice, do something like Raptor. And if you say, look, Roger, I don't have enough money for Rigid, Milwaukee and stuff like that. My thing is either buy a brand like Raptor or go to the pawn shop and buy Rigid, Milwaukee and stuff like that. Get something that you can afford, but invest in a name. And look, the only reason I know Raptor's good is the warranty that they have with it. Go to Ferguson.com, check it out. They've got good tools. They're going to cost you less than a big name brand would, but you're still going to get quality and you get a guarantee with it. And to me, that is huge. If you want, say, a high-end pipe wrench, and I'm going to say Milwaukee and Rigid both make good tools. Before I went and bought a brand name I've never heard of pipe wrench, I would go to the pawn shop and see if I could find one there and at least invest in a brand where I've heard the name. And that's a big deal to me. Armando says, are you installing more PEX pipe nowadays or still copper? The neat thing is, as a residential service company, we go in and we try and whatever we take out, we put in. So if we are replacing pipe, we want to get in there and make sure that we're doing it right. And to me, there's no other way to do it. So I always want to make sure that not are we just replacing it, but we try to replace it with what's in there. Sorry, I'm gonna make that go. That's been up for a long time. Here's the one I'm looking for. Guys, if y'all have not seen what we're doing over on TikTok, I promise you need to go check it out. All right, back over in the forum. Jose de Roman again. Peace to the master plumber. You do one-on-one coaching. I do. We've got different levels that we're putting together to do things with me. The first one's going to be the Roundtable. It's going to be a monthly deal. I'm going to spend a couple hours a month in each Roundtable, probably coaching and consulting for 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, and then do Q&A and literally answer as many questions as I can one-on-one, because it's a Zoom call. It's people talking to me, doing stuff like that. I would need to know, Jose, what kind of coaching you're talking about. I've got some people that are just getting started in the trades. I've got some people that have been in the trades a while and want to get better. I've got some companies that want to grow on social media. So they've got me coaching them one-on-one. So I've got a lot of different things that I'm doing. So I'd say, man, connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message right here. Send me a message and I'll find out what kind of coaching it is that you're looking for, that you need. I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching because of all the time that it takes. It can get really expensive for me to give up, as much time as it takes sometimes. So, look at it. Let's see and we'll see what we can figure out from there. Steve, I gotta love it. Memory foam, maybe because you're asking for marital advice on a plumbing channel. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm trying to see. Do you know why my wife left me? Maybe because you're a plumber. I'm joking about that. Some good answers there, though. All right, back over in the forum. So y'all made me laugh. I like that. This is my name. What is the union? Y'all keep talking about it, but I don't know what it is. I'm not a plumber. Here's what the union is. And there's unions for plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, roofers, landscapers, glazers. Man, there's so many different unions out there. Carpenters, elevator techs. The neat thing is, yeah, there you go. Amber knows. Amber's helping me put together the roundtable, the courses, the one-on-one, the coaching, everything. She's helping me systematize and process it and get it ready to go. The union is basically, it's like a trades organization. A plumber can go down the union, sign up the union. The union is more like a labor hall. When I was a union, well, this is not true. I was going to say, when I was a union plumbing company, I should be able to call the union and say, hey, I need 3 plumbers. But my local plumber did not train service plumbers, so they really couldn't do a daggum thing for me. That's why I got out. But it's better now because I'm not in the union. If you're an employee, if you want to learn commercial plumbing, man, I think the union's phenomenal. You can get in, you can learn it. They will help put you out to work. There's good things about it. There's good benefits, good pay, good insurance, a good pension plan. So there's good things about it. It just wasn't good for me as a residential service company owner. Local 100 in Dallas, man, did not do hardly anything for me. And I paid them about $400,000. So it doesn't make sense for me to stay. Peter Chang says, what are the advantages to residential plumbing and those of commercial? A lot of that is in my free mini course, Peter, and I tell you, go look at that. But here's one thing that I ask is, are you one of those people that you want to go to the same job every day for years? Because I've been on some plumbing jobs that lasted 5 years. Are you one of those, you want to go to multiple jobs a day? As a residential service plumber, you're liable to go to multiple jobs. As a residential new construction plumber, you're liable to go to one job for 2 or 3 days, then to another one for 2 or 3 days and bounce around like that. Commercial service, I mean, it's almost like residential service. You can end up at different jobs every day. They're going to be bigger, more intricate, and you may need to learn more things, but the opportunities are out there to do so many different things. Peter, if you're looking at getting into the trades, I would tell you, go look at my free mini course. That's going to help you determine what kind of plumber you want to be and hopefully answer some of these questions for you. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to do that instead. If y'all have not connected with me on LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram, if you have not joined the subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts, you need to. That's where we get a lot of video and pictures for our YouTube stuff. And man, you can go over there and comment, tell us what you think. And I love getting in that subreddit and seeing what all's in there. Brian says, how do you figure out pricing jobs? Friend and I started a business together and are still trying to figure out pricing. I joined a group that helped me put my pricing together. And I'll tell you this, the PHCC program has a good system to help you figure out pricing. I had a great friend out of Chicago named Robert Melko, that he showed me the PHCC pricing and how it was set up, and I thought it was phenomenal. I joined another group later. And guys, there's a lot of groups out there that can help you learn how to budget, how to train your people, how to set pricing, how to do so many different things. And that's what helped me. Actually, I'm going to be in San Antonio in 2 weeks with that group, so I'm looking forward to it. David G says, what's a reasonable rate per foot of tunneling in the DFW area? I would love to get your opinion on an issue I'm having, but I don't think you service North Richland Hills. David, I think that we have been to North Richland Hills before. Amber, if you're in here, you can tell me if that's in our service area. Normally, and now when you say what is fair rate per foot of tunneling, if you mean plumbing and repair, man, anywhere from $550 to $700. It depends on if that includes the repair or not, but those are going to be good. I mean, at least if you do it like I do, we do stainless steel hangers, stainless steel supports. We do, stainless steel rod, nuts, washers, the whole 9 yards. We do enough of them, you're not going to have any problem. We have our tunnels inspected by an engineer. We permit and inspect everything. We do not want to have problems. So we go above and beyond, but there's a lot of other plumbing companies that don't do that. So, man, I hope that helped you some. Luke Olson says, what was your longest job you have had to work in plumbing? I was in charge of work out at DFW Airport for a long time, and that's probably my longest. God, I think I was out at the airport 4 or 5 years, but I worked on multiple terminals, different companies, things like that. But I got to tell you, man, it was a cool gig. I loved it. I just hate driving out to DFW Airport every single day. Chris NoTap says, hello, Roger. Odd question, but were you a police officer? No, I was not. Matter of fact, I hung out in the back seat of the police car, if you know what I mean. No, I was never a police officer. I was a bouncer, bodyguard, commissioned security, so I could carry a gun. I was one of the first licensed bodyguards in Texas. I was with one of the first training groups. So, I've done things like that, but no, I've never been a police officer. Taden Fix says, what is the best route to go as a non-union residential plumber? Do you believe union is better? Taden, a lot of this is going to depend on where you're located. I think the union's good because I think it brings certain benefits, but if the union in your area does not train residential, and it sounds like that's what you want to do, then I would say no. If I wanted to build new homes, do new construction, I would go around and look in the nice neighborhoods where they're building custom homes and look and see what plumbing companies are working there. If I wanted to do service work, I would look at the TV, who's advertising, who's running ads for service plumbing work in your area. The reason being, those are the people that are probably spending the most money on advertising. They're probably doing the most work. Great way to get in to look at it. I'm going to answer one more in the form here and then jump back over in the chapter or the chat for a little bit. Cameron Yorston says, I have tree roots in my pipes. What's the easiest fix? And it may be something you need to dig up and replace. It may be something, first of all, you got to find out where they're coming in from. If they're coming in, which they are, you've got to get that repaired. You're going to keep fighting it. There are different products made like Root X that is supposedly pretty good. I've only used it once, but I've heard good things about it. The other cool things about it are once you figure out where it's coming in, you may be able to make a spot repair. But if you can't figure out where it's coming in, you may need to replace the whole relay. Are you talking from the house out to the tap? Or are you talking up under the house? Because, man, either way, if you got roots in your pipes, it's not a good thing. It's always going to lead to problems. All right. I'm going to jump back over. Actually, I'm going to go to the bottom of the chat just to see who all's in here. Beat the devil out of it. Still in the house. We're here like apple. What here like apple fritters? Okay. I thought you said we're here like apple fritters. Here's a good one. Holiday State. What endorsement would you recommend getting first? look at the company you work in and the area you work for and see what's going to help you the most. The first endorsement I got was medical gas because the union was looking at more medical gas jobs and they needed med gas plumbers. So that is the first one I got. But then I got my WSPS, Water Supply Protection Specialist. Then I got my multi-purpose residential fire protection sprinkler specialist. Then I got my RMP. So I'm one of the few plumbers. I'm one of, I think, 19 master plumbers in Texas that have every endorsement. And man, it's really cool. Working while I watch and skim through for my Q. Love your channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Here's another good one. Travis Mendiola says, do you think the board will ever get close to shutting down like back in 2019? I really hope not. I know that everything's going on right now. We're in legislation again. I'm going to have to get down there and start talking about stuff because we did a video. As a matter of fact, it comes out, I believe, today. I'm being nodded. Yeah. About House Bill 1650, where they want to help apprentices. They want to help high school students learn plumbing in high school where they can get out and get a tradesman license. I think it is phenomenal. I think it is great. And I think it'll be good for the plumbing trade, but also good for people of Texas. I mean, think about it. There's a lot of kids that drop out of school because they can't find anything they like or they need to get a job. Man, go to school as a plumber, learn it in high school, get your endorsement, do your stuff. And basically you can get out, getting a job, making 50 grand a year. That's not a bad gig. All right. And of course, Amber says, y'all get ready for the roundtable and the online course. It's going to be fire. And it is. She's helping me put this together. So I got to tell you, it's going to be good stuff. We're working on it. We've been working on it and we're going to keep working on it. And the thing is, we're going to constantly improve it. I mean, besides, who wouldn't want to spend an hour once a month with me or 2 hours once a month with me and then do a Zoom call with me, other apprentices, other tradesmen, and other company owners from around the country? Pretty cool. Where am I at? Man, I got a lot of people in here because it keeps flying by. Sorry, I'm trying to jump over here back and forth between the chat and why does the journeyman test talk about med gas stuff if that's a different thing? Jonathan, I think they want to make sure that people understand it is different and they still ask questions about it. There's things that a journeyman plumber can do to help with med gas. He can't bottom out a joint. He can't solder and he can't identify it. But he could put up hangers. He could do a lot of different things. So I think that's why they ask. Colin Jones is headed to school. Good to have you in here. And no, they did not get rid of our license. They tried. Luckily, the governor of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, stepped up, made an executive order and said, hey, look, we need a plumbing license. We don't want just every jackwagon out there like Chris Patty wanted. We don't want anybody in the world to be able to go out and say they're a plumber, do things, install cross connections, start killing people. Chris Patty thought that'd be a great idea. Don't know where he got it, but man, luckily the governor stepped up and fixed things. There you go. Israel Perez has dropped out, went straight into plumbing. Now in a successful plumbing company in Florida. Congratulations for you. Is it possible for water to mix with gas and catch fire? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, guys, jumping back over in the forum for just a little bit. If y'all have any questions you want to guarantee you get answered, please jump over into the chat. I'm sorry, jump over into the forum and ask your questions there. Deontay Richardson. Hey, Roger, how do you get companies like Rigid or Milwaukee to sponsor you? Cool thing is, as you see, I got Ferguson. What Ferguson does, Ferguson puts Milwaukee and Rigid in touch with me. If there's stuff that they want to talk about, they want me to do a video about, we talk about it, they send it to us. We look at it, try it out. If we like it and want to do a video about it, we've got it and we can. So number one, Deontay, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. But the cool thing is they've sent us some neat stuff to play with, and we enjoy the heck out of it. Cool. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that, brother. All right. So back over in the forum, question from Cameron. Sorry, already answered that. Let me move to the next one. Craig Smith says, how can you tell if you need a new toilet? If you've got one that is just constantly messing up or you can't repair it or things like that, I normally tell people the time they need a new toilet is when they realize they want a taller one. They want a different color one. Their toilet won't quit running no matter how many times they rebuild it or whatever. And I mean, think about it. If you're calling a plumber out to completely rebuild a toilet, it can get expensive. I would almost just go buy a toilet and come out and say, hey, just swap this out. You could probably come out cheaper in a lot of instances. So that could be a whole new video. That's a good idea. My son is always clogging the toilet. We try hot water, baking soda, and vinegar. We try the plunger and the snake. None of them work. Have any advice on how to unclog the toilet? Man, you're trying everything. It may be time to get one of those power flush toilets that have the Sloan tank in it. It fills up with city pressure. Then when you flush it, it's literally like that 80 PSI pounds of pressure forcing it out. You're going to have to unclog it first. Is the stoppage in the toilet or underneath, or can you tell? We got some good questions in here today. Taylor says, would you reach out to plumbing students at Job Corps? I share your videos with all my students. Absolutely. The neat thing is, I love the trades. I love anything I can do to help people in the trades, either help them learn, help them get better. Don't get me wrong. I just can't give up all my time in the world to do it. But that's why we're trying to create things, a roundtable, coaching, digital courses, one-on-one coaching, a mastermind, all kinds of different things that we're looking at. What can we do to really help people? And how can we help the most people? But I love the idea of reaching out. Job Corps to me is great. It can help people get that mindset of, look, I can learn my way up and do anything. And to me, that is just huge. So Taylor, I would say, absolutely. I love that. Memory foam, you're apparently not a plumber. Naughty Ferret says, what is your favorite thing to do after a harsh day at work? Roll a big fat burrito and eat it. No, I'm joking. My favorite thing to do, I know people look at me and say, you're a stoner or something. No, I'm not. When I've had hard days, I like to listen to motivational stuff on the way home. I can always get my mind in a better place. And when I do, man, it is phenomenal. When I don't, it can stay bad for a really long time. So, and look, I love this question. If I've had a bad day and I want a drink, I'll have a drink. If I need two, I'll have two. I normally don't drink more than 2 drinks. Here lately, I've got to where I normally don't drink more than 1. And even on a bad day, it's like, okay, it is what it is. My whole idea or thought process is, look, tomorrow's going to be better. I've got an amazing life. I love what I do. I love the people that I get to work with, that I get to talk to, that I get to help, that I get to teach, that I get to coach. To me, it just couldn't get any better. So I keep working. And when I say it couldn't get any better, I mean, think about it. I'm talking about, I've got product manufacturers reaching out to me. I've got new product manufacturers reaching out to me. How many of y'all saw the video that I did on Meter Dog? And I'm just asking because to me, this is one of the newest, coolest freaking products on the market. And I think it's going to change the world for plumbers. I've known about it for 5 years, and I've been talking to Dr. Richard. I've been helping them with it. I've been giving them ideas, and I truthfully think this is going to be one of the coolest things on earth. I knew I'd end up needing my keyboard. And I'm not set up. I need to set it up where I can bring in a screenshot or where I can share my screen. I need to remember this, Grayson, if we can. Okay, so I just put a link in there. Or I'm trying. It's going to take it a second. It's trying to figure out if it's really Roger doing it. Okay, so it just showed up. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to go check out Meter Dog. Because I'm telling you, to me, this now becomes the first step anybody does for leak detection. Somebody says, I got water coming up in my floor. I can have an apprentice go install one of these and tell them within 24 hours. And actually, I'd probably leave it on a little more because I want to be able to tell them for sure. How many gallons are we talking? How often is it? Is it sporadic or is it constant? This tool will do so many things. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be cool. So Naughty Ferret, I guess that was a long way to get around. I normally really don't have bad days. When I do, I may have a drink. I may work out. I may go home, read a book. But I love the fact that I've got motivational stuff I can listen to that helps me a lot better. Max Boda says, have you ever been plumbing in Europe or some different countries? And you know what? I have not. I've only plumbed in the United States. I reached out to, y'all may like this. I reached out to Got to Learn to ask them if they'd be interested in a collaboration. He said yes. I'm talking to James over at Plumber Parts, see if he'd be interested in the collaboration. We're going to end up doing a collaboration with both of them, I think. I've also reached out to Stephen Lavamaneri. I've reached out to Matt Reisinger. I've reached out to Dustin Stelzer, electrician. So there's a lot of people that I'm reaching out to. I want to do some cool stuff. And even though I'm not in different countries, I know that, you know, a lot of these people, we've got the UK there, we've got Canada there. So Max, even though I'm not working in those places, I do want to talk to plumbers about it and see what they think the biggest difference are and stuff like that. So, okay, and this is a good question. How does one stop feeling the need to suffer and be sad? I ask you because you seem wise, and I look up to you because you seem humble and content. And I got to tell you, and here's the neat thing about it is I think that we can all manifest our own positive mindset. And it's funny because, you know, me and Julie talked about this earlier today. I'm one of these people that I believe that I can bring joy into a room. And I constantly try to do that. One of my biggest jobs here is checking on all the employees and, hey, is everybody okay? Is everybody smiling? Is everybody happy? And to me, you've just got to decide if you want to be happy or not. If you decide, like, I want to be that happy, fun person every day, I think that people can do that. Is it easy? Not easy. For me, I guess it is because I've been doing it so long now. But what I'll tell you is if you want to be that positive energy for other people, man, it makes life so much better. So that was really a good question. I like that. And thank you because I try to always be positive and bring the energy and make it fun. So I do appreciate that. Next one is Jonathan Cortez says, any tips for the tradesman test in Austin? Yes. Go early, go to sleep earlier. Don't go out drinking and partying on 6th Street. Show up learned, educated, and ready to go. And I know showing up learned is a joke. The UPC study guide, I think, is phenomenal. It helped me. I mean, man, when it comes to taking a test, study the UPC study guide. I've got a video on my YouTube channel telling you how I use it to study, meaning I go to the answers first, figure out all the answers, go in the book and highlight the correct answers. And then literally, I just read that book for a month. Anything I get wrong, I mark in pink. That way I know what to go back and study. But I want to make sure I know every answer without a doubt. So, Jonathan, I'll tell you good luck. I think it's a great thing and a great honor to get to go take that test. Good luck. It's fantastic. Landon Harris, sorry about that, says, where can I find a good start in plumbing? I am 17 in Dallas. Number one, you've got to start at the free mini course. Find out what kind of plumber do you want to be. It's you can get a job with an open shop company. You can go apply at the union. You can do a lot of different things. But what I'll tell you is, first of all, find out what kind of plumber you want to be. That's going to help you drastically. Jump over in the chat just a second. Probably not. Roger, what is your favorite food? Seafood. Any food I can see, I eat. That's pretty close. Man, my favorite is probably steak and potatoes, although I'm in Texas. I love great Mexican food, all kinds of stuff. Man, if you got an invention, put it out there. Find somebody. You said it'll help with slab leaks. And there's slab leaks. Slab leaks are an expensive problem. So getting that information out there is always good. Let's see what's up. How we doing? Roger Wakefield, your camera is doing weird stuff. Which camera? That's camera 3. That's camera 2. That's camera 1. It does. It looks like I'm lagging again, doesn't it? Yeah, because that one there is really smooth. That one's smooth. Okay, I see the problem. Yeah, we've had problems with this camera before, and I don't know why, because that's, if I'm not mistaken, my best camera. So I'll have to play with that. All right, back over in the forum. We got lots of questions. Might have to get busy here, guys. So we got a good one. And this is a good question. It says, did you ever experience a fatal incident or near fatal incident while working? And I got to tell you, I worked on the Radio Shack Riverfront campus in Fort Worth. And it was one of the buildings was 5 stories, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 4. But there was I don't know if it was a glazer, I think it was a glazer, working off a 120-foot boom lift. And he had it all the way up, working on the top edge of the building, and it was in the mud. And something happened, and the base of the boom started sliding, and he ended up, getting slammed from the top of a 120-foot boom. When it fell, it hit hard. And that's the only job I've ever been on where somebody died. I've been on jobs where there've been major accidents. And guys, what I want to tell you is, man, cameras. I'm sorry, I'm looking down cameras. Accidents on jobs, it's not good. It can really mess up the people that work on it, that see it or have to work around it, because I think we realize, look, we're all human. So what I want to tell you is, man, anytime you're on a job, be very careful. Accidents aren't good for anybody, not just you, but think about the people you're going to leave behind. Don't take shortcuts that could put you in a bad situation. It's not worth it. Michael Kelly says, so been in the U.S. foster system for 3 years. I want to learn plumbing. Man, you're in the right spot. Just keep on learning. Jonathan Cortez says, hey, I have an invention. That's it. Get it out there. Contact people that are already creating equipment for slab leaks and leak detection. See if you can team up with them, maybe. Ricky Rodriguez says, do I need to get into trade school first before getting a job? This is a good question, because I would recommend going to take my free mini course first. The reason I say that, it's going to help you find out what company or type company you may want to get in with. Check with the union, check with the trade schools, check with PHCC. Look, PHCC is a great training organization that works with companies that are members, and the members will pay for your education. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. I'm just not one of these people that say, hey, look, I want to go down to a trade college and spend 10 or 20 grand to go to school, when I can go to work for the union or a company that's involved with PHCC. They'll train me to go through their training program, and I get paid while I do it. So lots of different ways to look at it, but I would not join a trade school first. I would see if I could find a job with a company that's going to send me to school. Ty Glissman says, how do you know if your plumbing is bad? Put pictures of it on my subreddit and we will tell you. Actually, a lot of people in there will. Man, it's like the eyesight test. Look at it. If it looks good, it holds good, doesn't leak, it's probably a good plumbing job. If you put a level on it, it's following the direction it's supposed to. There's a lot of different things, but my big thing is, how does it look to you? Who taught you, and how does it stand up to the standards they had? And if that doesn't help you, doesn't answer your question, put it over on the subreddit. Somebody will tell you, I promise. I always made sure every job that I was on, I wanted to do better work than the people around me. And especially whenever I got into the union, because when you get into the union, you're a rat. They don't like you. You didn't pay your dues. You didn't come up through the training program. So what I did is outwork them. I did better work. I did more of it. I did quality work. And, I moved up to be a foreman, a superintendent, and then a director of operations. So you can do whatever you want to do. Fidel says, why do plumbers in Illinois make so much more than the national average? Man, and that's a good question, because I tell you what, California probably even makes more. New York, probably even more. I don't know why New York, California, Chicago make a lot more. Down here in Texas right now, the union plumbers are getting about $34 an hour on the check. What is it in Chicago? Mukesh We have 2 toilets in our house, respectively, on the first and second floor, somehow connected to each other. When we flush the toilet on the top floor, starts creating bubbles in the bottom. Don't know the reason. You've probably got a drain partially clogged somewhere, and when this happens, it creates it's either a drain or a vent. But when you flush it, it creates air, and that air has nowhere to go, so it's going to bubble up. It lets you. That's the beginning sign to say, "Hey, look, you got a problem." So I would definitely get it looked at, get it taken care of, see what you can do. Greg Smith says the clog is like in the back where you can see the curves of the pipe in the toilet. Yeah, I would definitely get a good closet auger and try that. If you're trying with a cheap one, you're right, it's going to tangle up. I would try that. You may end up having to pull the toilet, see if you can reach it from the bottom side and pull it out that way. I mean, look, man, I've pulled race cars, Matchbox cars. I pulled all kinds of crazy stuff out of there. It can happen. John D says, any company recommendations for the city of Philadelphia? HVAC or plumbing? I'm 18. Any tips? God bless. God bless you. Johnny, here's what I'll tell you is I don't have any recommendations up there. I'm trying to think who I know in those areas. What I would try, first of all, take my free mini course, find out what kind of plumber you want to be. Then what you may try to do is the things that I teach in there. Go watch my videos, how to get a job, how to start out as an apprentice. And it may put you in the right position to, once you figure out what kind of plumber you want to be, then you can help find the job that you want to find. And I'm telling you, I think that'll really help you out a lot. And then watch all the videos. Watch the videos where I talk about getting a job, getting into the trades and all that. Justin said, I'm 16, got accepted into a plumbing pipe trades course instead of normal grade 12. Any tips? Absolutely, Justin. Number one, you're doing it. Go down here, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, watch the videos that I make, because I've got people that teach plumbing across the country that send me messages and say, look, I show my students your videos every night. Whatever we're doing it right. We're trying to always do it better. So what I will tell you is, look, you're in a great spot. Learn all you can, watch all you can, and I think it'll help set you apart from the other people in your class. But man, congratulations. I'm happy for you. That's a neat deal. Got a text in here that says, how do pipes burst from the cold? It's easy. When the water in there is not moving and it freezes up, when water turns to ice, it expands. That causes the rupture. Then when it thaws out, that's when it floods. So, and that was an easy one. It's crazy how it works, but that's exactly it. So that's why it's always important to keep that water dripping, keep it moving, disconnect hoses, do anything and everything to keep that water from freezing. Why is ABS drain pipe used in California, but other states, they use PVC? I have no idea why Cali uses ABS and Texas uses PVC. We've used PVC for years. I've been on 2 jobs in my entire life in Texas that had ABS, and that blew my mind. Next question. Roger, this is Tony. Roger, will you tell me more about your roundtable? Guys, here's what we're going to do. And this is something I've had people ask me about for a long time now. We're going to do a roundtable. It won't be a roundtable. It'll be a Zoom call once a month, probably on Tuesday, probably around the same time, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that. And we've got a syllabus built out to where if I took somebody just now getting in the trades or somebody that's already an apprentice and they wanted to be really, really good, what would I teach them? That's one. The next one is they're already a tradesman. Look, I've got my plumbing license. I'm a professional, but I want to be great at what I do. What can they learn to get better? The next one is people that want to own their own business. I'm a residential electrician. I want to open my own company. what do I do? And we're going to create probably like a 12-month syllabus. Here's what you need to know in the beginning. Here's what you need to know next. And everything will be things to grow and improve upon. And if you can learn these things, it's going to be phenomenal. The fourth Tuesday of the month will be, make sure. Okay. I wanted to go back, make sure. So the fourth Tuesday of the month roundtable will be, if you're a residential service company owner and you've already got your own business and you want to learn to use social media, it's huge. It can literally blow your business up by being in front of your customers, and that'll make your phone ring. So that's what we're looking at. Like I said, and I said it earlier, anybody interested in it, put roundtable in the chat. Had a lot of people put it in there, say yeah, it's something they'd be interested in. Look, guys, this is just another way I can make myself available to help people, and I really do want to. That there is going to be a fee for it. We're not sure what it's going to be. If you look at what a residential service plumbing apprentice makes, we start apprentices out at $15 an hour right now. That's $600 a week. A journeyman should be making $1,200 a week. Okay, 1,000 to 1,200. A trades professional. So let's say a journeyman who's been in this a while, wants to open his own company, and it should be making 12 to 1,500 a week. And a service company owner, how good are you? I mean, you can make what you want to make if you hire the right people, train the right people, do the right things. So a lot of different ways to look at it. We don't know what the price is going to be yet. It won't be free, but you'll have access to me for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours every week, once a week, either the first, second, third, or fourth Tuesday of the month. And then one Saturday a month, we're going to go live on a Zoom call, and it'll be scheduled where everybody in all the classes can get in. All the roundtables can have access to it. That way they get to come in. There'll be a private Facebook group where they can get in and ask each other questions. Look, I don't know everything in the world, but I surround myself with some really good people. And I really think it'll make all the difference in the world. And I'll tell you, if you want to become the best tradesman that makes the most money, that's what we're doing this for. Because look, I've almost always, since I've been in the union, made double scale. When scale was 25 an hour, I made 50. And I got to tell you, it beats the heck out of making scale. But what I teach are the things that I've learned. How do you walk into a company that's paying most of their plumbers 25 an hour and you say, hey, I want 50 and get it? And then when you go to leave, they're like, look, we want to offer you money to stay. Like, no, look, I got other things I'm working on. So guys, look, I'm just telling you, it will be worth it. Justin says, do you have any fixes for downstairs bathrooms leaking water and not working as well as upstairs? Well, number one, you got to find out where the water's leaking from. Is it a leak from under a toilet? Is it from a faucet or something like that? Find out where the leak is. I mean, it doesn't matter if the leak is on the 50th floor or the first floor. You got to find out what's leaking and fix it. And if you can do that, man, jackpot. Peter says, what is your opinion on those magnet things for your main water line for calcium? The magnets, I don't think are going to do anything. We did a video on a Watts whole house water filter system that really looks pretty good. I also have an electronic anti-scaler on my house that, believe it or not, has kept calcium and magnesium buildup on the shower heads and aerators down. Not sure about the magnets. I've never really heard anything good about them, but I've never used them myself. Jake says, do I need to be school smart, or do I need to be school smart to do any trade? I take an automotive class. Okay, we already did this. So yeah, look, you're going to be good. If you can do good in an auto class, you can do good in any trade. Toilet bowl fills up very, very slowly. Any tips on how to fix it? It sounds like you're not getting enough water when you flush it. Check your flush valve, see if it's coming up all the way, see if it's letting enough water in. A lot of different things that it could be. And I've got a video called How to Stop a Running Toilet Guaranteed that will help you change out any of those things. Lucas says, how'd you begin your journey in plumbing trade? Did you go to school? I didn't. And we kind of talked about this earlier, but I'll hit it real quick. If you're thinking about getting in the trade right now, go take my free mini course. I'm going to jump down to the bottom of the comments just to see if the bot had put anything in here about the free mini course. Yeah, stop spamming. Wasn't that the truth? I don't see the mini course on the bot here lately, but here's what I'll tell you is go to the description, look at the free mini course, and that's going to help you figure out, do you want to be residential or commercial, service or new construction, union or non-union? And when you can figure those things out, it'll help you figure out what kind of plumber or any tradesperson you want to be. I did not go to school for it, but later in my career, I taught at the union. I taught at the union for about 3.5 years. And I got to tell you, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think I was a really good instructor. I was one of those instructors. I didn't come in there to BS and be your friend and have fun. I came in there to teach you and make sure you understood plumbing. And that's always been a big deal to me. Stephen Vandenbroek says, I'm moving to my new house next week. What things should I always check first and regularly check for maintenance? I talked about this earlier, and this is really good. Number one, know how to turn the water off at your house. Where's your water meter? Where are your valves? How can you turn off the water in case of an emergency? Number two, constantly look at your aerators, shower heads, stuff like that. Check for calcium and magnesium. Do you have a hard water buildup? Maybe even check your water. Always check for leaks. Are there any toilets running all the time? And know how to flush your water heater, whether it's tankless or regular. Check and see how old it is. If it's not over 3 or 4 years old, maybe go ahead and flush it while it's still under warranty if it is, and figure it out from there. But I'm telling you, learning to take care of your own house and doing things can save you a ton of money. Braden says, man, Braden, did you not see where it says keep it short? Braden says, hey, I'm a junior at a top university. Man. However, as I will explain, I'm wondering if I need to just use my degree. Came to the best university, yada, yada, use my degree for a job if it's not too late. Here's the cool thing is look, if it's not too late, what can I be doing while I'm in college to prepare to be a plumber? Look, I've got a plumber that works for me that graduated college. I've got 1 or 2 that work for me that went to college. I've got a lot of friends that are plumbers that did go to college. I got a lot of friends that are plumbers that did not go to college. The good thing about going to college is if you learn business, it'll help you when you get out. I had no college at all. None. So what I'll tell you is, for me to learn business, I had to learn a lot. I didn't know anything about accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, taxes, licensing, stuff like that. I knew some of it, but not enough of it. So I had to learn a ton of things. But what I'll tell you is, as a business person, you're probably already going to understand a lot of this stuff, and it's going to be easier for you. My wife went to college. She has a master's degree in education, but coming in and learning to run a company, a little bit different. So there's a lot of things to learn. Going to college will help you. And I really think it can help you. Are there things you can start learning now? Start watching these videos. And I know that's crazy, but look, the videos, I teach people how to do a lot of stuff that we do. And it's a great way to get in there and learn and figure some things out. Uh, Here we go. How are we doing? It's me, C. Good afternoon, Roger, here with Larkins Mechanical in Chicago. Been a long time since I've caught a live. Good to have you in here. Lucas, you're more than welcome. It's a hard job. Is the job hard? You know what? It's not as hard as most people think, but I tell you what, it's a great profession. I love what I do. Any basic power tools that are worth the money for DIY plumbing? Yeah, a cordless drill to me is phenomenal. That will help you do so many different things, and I love having it. We have a super chat here from Taylor Searly. How we doing? Thank you very much. As a plumbing instructor, I would love to be in a roundtable. You are a valuable resource. Please email me and I will make sure that we make note of that. Thank you very much, Taylor. I appreciate it. You know, here's the neat thing, guys, is look, there's so much to learn. And like I tell people, look, I don't know everything. Julie and I were talking to the plumbers this morning. I'm signed up for an emotional intelligence course in 2 weeks. I'm going to a general management course for operations 2 weeks later. I'm going to a general management course for sales a month later. I am continuously learning. And if you are in this business and you're not continuously learning, you're disservicing yourself. Because if you're not learning new tricks, new tips, new technology, what's going on social media? What's going on in business? What kind of equipment, technology, tools are out there that you aren't learning about? Because if they're out there and you're not, it's going to hurt you. And when I say hurt you, I mean, it's going to hurt you bad because other companies are going to get ahead of you. I love the fact, well, let's just take for an example. I understand commercial plumbing because I did it for years. Okay. I know how to use a Pro Press and a Mega Press. Now, I spent the money on those tools. And don't get me wrong, when I bought it, it was $5,000 for both sets of jaws. I made it back on one job. I made it back on the labor I saved on one job. And I also worked the tool into the price. So I really got paid twice for it because not only did I work the price of the tool into the job, I made enough profit on labor to cover it. I knew that from being a commercial plumber, I could save the money on that. And now I can do things a lot of other commercial plumbers can't do. I can walk in, or a lot of other residential plumbers can't do. I can go into a house that has a gas line overhead, say they want to drop a gas line in this wall right here beside me. A lot of other plumbers are going to say, well, look, I've got to take this apart from the very end, thread it back. They don't know about a right hand, left hand nipple. They don't know about mega press, so they can't just cut in a T and do a drop. I'm putting myself ahead of the competition. If I keep doing this, it's going to keep paying off for me. So anything you can learn, anything you can do to get better is going to be phenomenal. Being in college and learning to run a business, if you can, and I don't know what your degree's in, but anything you can learn will always help you. All right, guys, back in the forum. Jap from Seven Hills says, do people sometimes think you're the greatest plumber? Yeah. I mean, every day, duh. Good question. Elena says, advice tips for getting started after high school. Should I seek an apprenticeship or go into trade school after high school? I'm taking a CTE class my senior year, which teaches basic trade skills like plumbing, carpentry, and electrical. Here's what I'll tell you, and this is really good because, Elena, the first thing I'll tell you is go take my free mini course. And I know y'all have heard me say that a lot, but it'll help you figure out what kind of trade you may like. It'll also help you figure out what kind of plumber, let's use the word plumber, you might want to be. Do you want to do new construction or service? Do you want to do, new construction or service? Do you want to do residential or commercial? Do you want to be union or non-union? And I ask you all these questions in this thing. So I really think it'll help you out. All right, I got one more here in the forum. This will be the last question. Chris says, do you watch the NHL? If not, what's your favorite sports and team? I pretty much don't watch many pro sports. I used to. I am a Stars fan. I'm a Maverick fan. I used to be a Cowboy fan till the one time they knelt for the national anthem. I've given up on the NFL because they do that. I don't mind politics, but don't bring it into sports. And that's my opinion on it. And I mean nothing bad by that. But if you're going to kneel for the national anthem, for the flag of this country, if you're that much against the flag, move. Pack your stuff and go. There's other ways to get people's attention. There's other ways to talk to people. There's a lot of other things that people can do. And I wish that it would get done that way. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. I'm a Texas Longhorn college football fan. And I'm really disappointed they lost in the NCAA 64 team tournament. YouTube's ad hominem. 37 years old, never done any plumbing, know anything about it, but I love Roger's videos, been watching them. Am I too old to get in the field? Not if you don't think you are. Not if you don't think you are. But guys, here's where we're at. We are at the end of the show. I really do appreciate everybody being here tonight. What I can tell you is it's been fun, as always. I love what we do. What I want to say is I appreciate everybody being here. I want to say thanks to not only my team in the house, but the moderators, people watching things, trying to take care of things, making sure everything's good. I do appreciate all you being here. I love the trades. I love what we get to do. I love the fact that we get to go into people's homes, take care of them, and do things the right way. Because of what we do on social media, we get called a lot because other plumbers have come out and done things wrong. And it literally blows my mind as to what you can see some people do. So what I want to do is say, number one, if you haven't yet, please give us a thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Just click on the bottom, hit the subscribe button. That lets YouTube know we're doing something right. People want to subscribe. They like the channel. They like what we're doing. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell. You'll get notified when we come out with new videos and when we go live. And it's a big part of what we do. So again, thank you to the moderators. Thank you everybody from being here. Thank you for the super chats. It's been a wonderful evening. I'm fixing to get out of here. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We've got a video coming out in about 12, 13 minutes. Please go over, check it out, watch it. This one's going to be a good one, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed. sir. I sure do appreciate it, Virgil. Virgil, are you learning anything here? Are you? No, and I used to love that. No, I did. I enjoyed having Will in there. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about. I would like to get this set up where I bring in different plumbers from around the country on different days. It could be really pretty cool. Hmm. Uh-huh. From home. I was gonna try to stay, but I'm just like I'm kind of tired. And I don't want just want to sit here for 2 more hours. Hmm. We getting hamburger meat for tonight? Yeah, if you're getting hamburger for tomorrow night, don't. I've got hamburger in the freezer. If you're getting hamburger meat for tonight, that's fine. I just thought boiled shrimp's easy. Okay. All right, honey. Let me get all this shut down so I can get out of here before the live starts, before the video starts. All right, baby. Love you. Bye. Damn, I don't like when girls tell me that. I know that makes it all worse.